Welcome to Pilates. Okay, so you will need a mat. I have a purple one. Doesn't matter what color it is. Even if you don't have a mat, you can use a blanket or a towel, just something kind of cushiony for your knees, or even if you're on carpet, you could probably deal. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. So I'm gonna start standing in the middle of my mat, feet about hip distance apart. And you want your feet super parallel, right? So if you look down on your feet, I've got a little bit wider hips, so I have a little bit more space, but usually about a fist or a fist with like a little space width apart in between your feet is usually good for most of us. And make sure those feet are in line. One foot isn't turned out or in, weird, right? They're parallel, right? Try to spread your toes and then bend your knees and kind of sit a little bit. Even though we're sitting down and being grounded, I still want you to lift up out of the chest. Not hyperextend, as I almost did, but just lift up out of the chest, roll those shoulders back, and just take a second to breathe, right? Big inhale and big exhale. Big inhale and big exhale. On that next inhale, we're going to reach those arms up. And then on that exhale, one arm is going to fall down, and I'm going to still reach with that top hand, and I'm sitting, so getting a nice stretch on this side. Inhale back up, and exhale other side. Sit, and allow that side to stretch, but you're still kind of like I'm holding onto a bar up here, right? Inhale up, and exhale, stretch. Inhale up, and exhale, stretch. Inhale up, two more, exhale, stretch. Inhale up, and exhale, stretch. And coming on down, roll those shoulders to the back. And 2, and 3, and 4, roll them to the front. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to inhale up. Now I'm going to stretch over, and then I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to make a nice curve of my upper spine, right? My hips aren't tucked under, and I'm not folding over. It's just like where your sternum is, goes back, right? So I'm kind of here in this upper curve. And then we roll over to the other side, lift it back up. And over, around, lift it back up. I kind of think like I'm pushing into my ribs. So here I'm pushing into the side rib, and then I roll into the back, and into the other back, and into the side, and then up. One more time. Over, side, over, and up. Take those hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Still keep that seat. Pull your arms straight down so that lifts your chest. This might be enough of a stretch for you, so stay there, or try to pull those arms away to get a deeper stretch. Now here, if you can, try to keep your palms together, right, as opposed to letting them go out. Try to keep those palms together. Makes it a little bit more challenging. Big inhale, and exhale, and release. That's another thing that you can add in your stretches, especially for, like the upper body, right, is a big breath in and a big exhale out, right, because you're stretching those intercostal muscles, especially if you have had any kind of cold or illness that makes you cough, right? So oftentimes when we're sick, we just want to go like this. But then we're coughing, that's an explosive use of those muscles, and they can get tight, just like our quads can when we do too many lunges or squats or whatever. So, speaking of, find that narrow, neutral stance. We're going to stand up nice, tall. Inhale, sit those hips back, arms forward. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, sit back, reach forward. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, sit back, reach forward. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, sit, and exhale, stretch. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Bring those arms back and front. Back and front. Back and front. Back and front. Add 1 heel. Push into those toes. Lift that heel. Push and alternate. And lift. And lift. And lift. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring those hands to your hips. Straighten your knees, but keep your back parallel to the floor, right? I hesitate to say flat back because people tend to like hyperextend. We still want those ribs in, right? And I'm sitting into my hips, right? Now here, I'm going to sit deeper and stretch, trying to get to a semi-straight leg. Depending on how tight your hamstring is, that's going to be how straight you can get your leg, right? Maybe it's only there. Maybe it's just a little bit down and a little bit up. Maybe it's more to a straight leg, depending on your hamstring flexibility. 4 more. 4. This is a lot in the core. You should be feeling this in your core. 3, 2, 1. Place your hands on your knees. Tuck that pelvis and roll up through that spine. Reach it all the way up. Fold forward, all the way down, and walk out those legs. Give it a nice little stretch. So that little exercise is my at-home variation of a leg press. Oftentimes, you know, I've been asked a lot, like, how do I do this exercise that I usually do at the gym at home? So this is my variation of a leg press. Roll on up. And it's hard to do that in a neutral stance. It's easier to do that how we're going to do that now. So widen your feet to the edge of your mat. Same thing. Start with that nice tall spine. Here's where you find it, right? I'm not going to be hyperextended. That's going to engage my low back, right? And it's not going to help me engage my core. I'm going to pull up here, use my hamstrings and glutes to help my core, help my pelvis into a nice tall alignment, right? That seat belt is tight and my ribs are down. As opposed to here where my ribs are out, pelvis is tilted, right? And my hamstrings are off. Hamstrings, seat belt, ribs. Yeah, here we go. Sit it down, sit it back, I should say, and push down. Sit back and push. Sit back and push. Now with those legs wider, those knees have to open out over those toes. And just that action alone should help you sit deeper into that movement. I think we're at 3, 2, counting is hard enough for me. When you gotta count and talk at the same time. Hold here, move those arms back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. 4 and 3 and 2. Add alternating heel lifts. Push and push. All 10 toes stay on the floor the whole time. Even when you're raising those heels, yes, your heel is moving over your big toe, but that pinky toe still needs to stay down. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Hold. Pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands on those hips. Sit and stretch. Now here you might be able to get to a straighter leg, because now it's not just the hamstrings, it's also the adductors. It's a little bit just different placement, so it's a little easier than that neutral stance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands on those thighs, tuck that pelvis, roll all the way up, reach for the sky, fold forward, walk those legs out. Lovely. Roll on up. Bring your feet together. Not all the way together, just back to that neutral stance. Raise those arms up. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, and walk it out into that plank. Lovely. So now here, if those new exercises did, engage your back muscles a little bit, that's okay. Sometimes when we learn something new, we don't quite get it right at the first try. But this exercise should help re-loosen that back and re-warm it up for the rest of class. So bend those knees, sit those hips back, find that downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach that pelvis up towards the ceiling, roll through that spine all the way back into your plank. Exhale, bend those knees, push those hips back, sit into that downward facing dog. And you can take a second to walk it out here. On your next inhale, push those hips up, tuck that pelvis, roll through the spine, roll, roll, roll to your plank. And then exhale, bend those knees, push those hips back. And you see I'm making like a little undulation with my spine, right? And we're going slower. So you can really stretch that pelvis out, the low back out, even the mid back and upper back. So 2 more times, big inhale, tuck that pelvis, lift that pelvis, roll through the spine into that plank. Exhale, bend those knees, sit those hips back, and downward dog. I love this exercise. And it's harder than it looks. You're like, oh, I'm just sliding into position. But no, it's harder than it looks, especially when you do it slow. Last time, big inhale, push those hips up to the sky, roll through that pelvis, that spine. It's kind of like roll-ups, where instead of painting a strip on your mat, you're trying to paint it on the ceiling, right? Then bend those knees, sit those hips back. Last time, inhale, roll through the spine. This time we're going to stay in our plank. We're just going to tap one knee down to the mat at a time. Tap and tap. Trying not to move that. I'm not going up and down, right? I'm just bringing that knee down. If it taps the mat, cool. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep those elbows in. We're going to lower ourselves all the way down. In yoga, we would call this chaturanga. In here, just a high plank to the floor. I like to call it an elevator. So hit that down button. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes I get to the mat before I say 1, and I'm like, it's okay. Untuck those toes. Push the tops of your feet into the mat. Tighten that seatbelt, right? So I'm not extended in that back. If anything, I'm a little tucked in my pelvis, right? Obviously, in this position, you can't really tuck all the way, so a tuck should put you in neutral. But my seatbelt is tight. I'm going to use my hands a little bit to push myself up into a baby cobra. And then I'm going to test it. I'm a little close to the wall, so I'm going to back up a little bit. But I'm going to test it, right? So I'm pushed up as high as I can get it. And then I'm going to let my hands go. And hopefully you stayed up, right? Pulling up on that core, right? Tightening that seatbelt in. You should, though, still be able to breathe, right? Pulling up on your seatbelt, pulling your belly button or whatever in, shouldn't mean sucking in so you can't breathe, right? Because that is neither helpful. That is not helpful. So you should still be able to breathe, but it's just a slight, like I like the tightening of the seatbelt. Oh, I'm pulling in, creating that tension. So here I'm going to reach my arms forward and pull them back. Reach them forward, pull them back. Forward, back, forward, back. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Extend those arms behind you, palms face the ceiling. Pulse those arms up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Flip those palms over, pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. If you lost your seatbelt, find it again. Click it or tick it, folks. And then we're going to lift one leg up, and up, up. It's not a big movement, right? We're not getting into that back. We're stopping. If anything, you're stopping at the glutes. Lift and lift. I kind of think of pushing my quad or my hip flexor into the mat as opposed to like lifting my leg, because that usually helps me keep my core connected. So you can stay with the singles or you can try both at the same time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, I know this is a lot, 3, 2, challenge time again, 1, hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Bring those hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up. Tuck your chin, roll through your spine, and sit in that child's pose for just a second. Long enough to take a nice big inhale and exhale. Grab some water if you need it. I always do. So coming on to all fours, hands right underneath those shoulders, knees right underneath those hips. Here we're going to play with some bird dog. I was a UW Stevens Point. I went to Stevens Point for college, and we were the pointers. So every time I say bird dog, I always think of college. I have no idea if that's actually like a thing, but you know, it's a thing for me. So inhale here. Let's reach our right arm forward and our left leg back. Now notice I'm aiming for parallel to the floor. I'm not aiming higher than that, right? And that's because I want to mainly focus. Bird dog is mainly for core stability. Can you lift your opposite limbs without sinking, without lifting that hip, right? Without falling. It's harder than it looks. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale here, exhale, lift. Just to parallel. And it's more of a lift out, forward and back, than up, right? Inhale, bring it down. Let's add on and pick up our pace. So we inhale here, exhale, lift. And then I'm just going to abduct, so move it out to the side and come back and down. Not so far out to the side that you have to rotate that leg. Obviously, that arm can go farther, but it's just there and back. Reach, open, in, and back. Reach, open, in, and back. Reach, open, in, and back. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out, in, and back. Lovely. So, last set of these, you can stay on your hands and knees like so, or if you want a little bit of a challenge, and by a little I mean a lot of, but we can have lattes tomorrow. So, you can tuck your toes under, inhale here, exhale, hover those knees. Now let's try one at a time here. Otherwise, you're just alternating that bird dog. So, inhale, exhale, right arm lifts. Inhale, exhale, right leg lifts. Inhale, exhale, left arm lift. Inhale, exhale, left leg lifts. Now let's all be bad at something together. So try it. Right arm, left leg. Inhale here, exhale, lift. Inhale down, other side lift. Inhale down, other side lift. Inhale down, other side lift. Down, knees down, child's pose. Woo-hoo-hoo! That was fun and challenging. Hopefully you surprised yourself. I always love when that happens. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And then you do it and you're like, oh, hard, but okay, I get it. All right, so we're going to come down onto our sides. Now this time I want you to plant your your head in between your hands, like so. Our bottom leg is at 90 degrees, right? 90, 90. And our top leg is straight. So here, as much as you can, I know you can't really see it with my shirt, but I'm not like relaxed. I'm lifted, right? A trick, if that is hard for you, is you can get a rolled up towel or like one of those very small Pilates balls, and you can put it under your ribs. And that'll help you, well, it'll help you stay up, but it'll also help remind you that you need to be lifted there, right? So if you don't worry about it. Just try to remind yourself of lifting up. So that leg is going to lift, flex the foot, bring it in front, and lift. Point the foot, extend it back, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. 4 more. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Last 2. 2, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Last one, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Extend that leg back, point those toes, little circles. We go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, to the back, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. So, you can come up to your, lost my ball. You can come up to your elbow. If you need to fold your mat in to give yourself some more cushion, go for it. We're going to take this bent leg and we're just going to bring it back so it's in line. And I'm going to lift up into that nice, lovely, level one side plank. So here, my hand goes behind my head. Inhale, tap the mat. Exhale, reach. Lift that leg and plant it down. Tap the mat. Exhale, reach. Lift and lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Reach, lift. 4 more. 4, and lift. 3, and lift. 2, and lift, and 1, and lift. Extend that arm out, touch that elbow to knee, in and out, 2 and out, in and out, in and out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last challenge time. You can stay at that level, or you can try to touch toes to fingers right in front of you. Tap and lift. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8, and lower down. Lovely. Flip it over to do the other side. I'm going to move my water because I'll probably kick it. Okay. So, if you do have a ball or a rolled up towel, a yoga block would probably be too firm and too high. You want something kind of squishy. A pillow would also work. Okay, so whatever you got underneath your ribs. Forward leg, bottom leg is forward and 90 degrees. So we lift, flex that foot, lift, point, back, lift, flex, reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. 4 more. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. Point, extend, and lift, flex, and reach, and lift. 2, flex, and 1, flex, and reach. Extend that leg, point those toes, big circles, in, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, to the back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, lovely. So, forearm down on the mat. This bottom leg comes to the back. I lift up into my nice, stable, sturdy, level 1 side plank. Top hand behind your head. Tap the mat. Reach and lift. Tap, reach, and lift. Tap, reach, and lift. Tap, reach, and lift. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend that arm, elbow to knee. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Toes to fingers if you can, or stay with the elbow and knee. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. So, grab a quick sip of water. And come on down to your seated position. Whew, feel those. Okay, so hands come behind you. I prefer fingers face my feet for lots of reasons. But if this is too hard on your wrists, right, path of least resistance, guys. Angle those hands out if you need to, or you can also grab like dumbbells, right? So your wrist is straight, or yoga blocks. That might help as well. But try as much as you can to get those fingers to face your feet. Feet are flat. I'm going to lift my chest, roll my shoulders down. Inhale here, exhale, lift my hips. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now your hips can come down like part way, and we're going to do our tricep dips. So we bend those elbows back and lift them back up. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Push those hips back up. I know. It's a lot on those arms. They should be burning by now. So if your feet aren't parallel, wiggle them in. Inhale here. Exhale, bring one knee in and put it back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips. Stretch forward. Take a second, interlace your fingers, and just gently snake those wrists. Lovely. Sit up nice and tall. Tuck that pelvis, roll all the way down to your mat. So, bring your feet flat, hands behind your head. Inhale here, tighten your seatbelt, pull your ribs down. Inhale here, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees up into tabletop. Squeeze those legs together. Inhale here, and exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, you can either do single leg, one on each side, or try both legs together 2 times. We reach out and pull in, out and pull in. Now I'm going to take my opposite elbow, reach it to my knee, lower and lift. Legs go out and in, out and in. Upper body goes reach across and reach across. Out and in, and out and in. Reach across and down, across and down. 4 more. 4 and in, out and in. Reach across, reach across. 3 and in, out and in. Reach across and across. 2 more. Out and in, out and in. Reach across and across. Last one like this. Out and in, and out and in. Reach across, reach across. Now reach across and extend the opposite leg. Reach, switch, 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 switch. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug everything in. Whew. Let those feet go. Extend them all the way out. Bring those feet flat. Tighten that seatbelt. Pull those ribs down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, lift those hips. Those kinds of exercises can definitely get into the hip flexors. So I always like to do a little reset, quote unquote, of a bridge or a cobra if we're like in a plank doing like a bunch of knee drives or something like that. I'll reset with like a cobra, anything that gets to hip extension. Roll through the spine, extend those legs, reach those arms up for the ceiling. Inhale here, exhale, roll up the spine. Sit up nice and tall and reach it forward. And sit up nice and tall. Tuck that pelvis, roll halfway down. Reach it back, pull it forward. Reach it back, pull it forward. 2 and 1. Finish the roll down. Inhale here. Roll halfway up, back to that same spot, and twist. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Finish the roll up and stretch. Sit up nice and tall. Roll halfway down. 4 rotations. 3 and 2 and 1. Finish the roll down. Inhale here, exhale halfway up. Rotate 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Finish the roll up and stretch. Sit up tall. Tuck that pelvis, roll halfway down and rotate. And 2 and 3 and 4. Finish. Inhale, exhale, halfway up. Last time of this variation. Reach. And 2 and 3 and 4. Sit up tall. Now you can always stay at the slow 4 reaches, rotational reaches, whatever you want to call it. Or you can join me for a little bit faster challenge. So we sit up. Everything else is the same. I come back. Fists, thumbs point down. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the roll down. Inhale, exhale, roll up halfway. And we go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the lift and stretch. 3 more. Tuck it halfway. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the roll down. Roll halfway back up. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. 2 more. Roll it down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the down. Roll it up halfway. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the roll up. We got 2 more. You're in it to win it, guys. You can do it. We're almost there. Halfway. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the way down. Halfway back up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish the roll up. Last one. Down and up. You got it. Tuck that pelvis. Roll on down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Last one. Halfway up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish all the way tall. Stretch over those legs. Flip it over. On those hands and knees. Hands right underneath those shoulders, knees underneath those hips. Inhale, drop that belly, lift that head and chest. Chest and tail. Exhale, round through that spine. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. On your own breath, 4 more. 3. 2. And 1. Shoot one foot really far forward and sit into those hips. I always kind of like to move around a little bit, see where I'm more tight for the day. Might be different day to day, different body to body for sure. Keep that front foot where it is and just walk those hands and hips back. You might want to flex that front foot. You might keep it down. Doesn't really matter. I like to start with a little bend in this front leg so I can really sit into my hips and feel that stretch as high up into that hamstring as I can. And then from there, I try to straighten my leg as much as I can. Come forward. Walk that foot out, maybe even on the outside of your mat. Push that knee out. You can stay in this more wide stance, or you can try to bring your elbows down. Maybe it's just for a second, maybe it's for 2. However long you got, come back up and switch. Little child's pose in between, and then the other side. Again, move it around. If you find a nice spot that feels like it's hitting your tight spot, stay there for a little bit, breathe into it, move around, walk yourself back, flex that front leg if you need to, keep that front leg a little bent so you can tuck or tilt your hips back. Get that stretch as high up in that hamstring as you can, and then you can work on straightening that leg a little bit if you got it. Walk it forward, move that front leg out to the side, knee points over those toes, and if you can, try to bring those elbows down. One side might be easier than the other, it's okay. Come back up. And last but not least, child's pose. Big inhale to come out of that. And whenever you are done with that, my dears, you can be done.